All right, Brian, let's move to our second topic, and that's the Supreme Court nomination. Today, actually, October 12th, 2020, today was the first day of the hearing for Amy Coney Barrett for her Supreme Court nomination procedure. And honestly, speaking to people there in the United States from abroad, and also general impressions from seeing news and particular outlets about people's feelings on this is that this election cycle for them has now become almost a single issue vote, meaning that they will vote feel either more motivated to vote because of Amy Coney Barrett's Supreme Court nomination, or vote against it, basically. And some of the main issues seem to be regarding the lean bench that the Supreme Court would have, conservative versus liberal. Issues like Roe v. Wade and the ACA, Affordable Care Act, where there's going to be, my memory serves me right, a ruling on that in November. So this has become a tremendous juggernaut as of recent for people who are voting. And some people, almost from what I've heard and seen and spoken to with several people, this has become almost a single issue vote now. There's like 20 huge issues, but this is now on the top of the ticket as far as what's on people's minds. I guess that would put the court around 6-3, conservative, the liberal. Yep. So there's that. But then, secondly, people are concerned because, and what I've seen as well, deflections from the Biden ticket of the issue of packing the court if the Democrats were to take control of the other branches of government. So, and the presidency, obviously. So how do you see that as being an issue? And for people who are going to vote, and where you are, and people you've spoken to there, as far as this election goes, and how big of a weight does that have on people's minds going into this election? Because those decisions really set a precedent for the country for several decades.
It's a huge motivator. I mean, right before the previous election, you had, Merrick Garland be nominated, and, it wasn't voted on because the situation back then was quite different, coming off the second term of Obama. And so now, it takes a completely different toll. Before Ruth Bader Ginsburg, the news that she had passed, the main issue was COVID. It was all about COVID. And that quickly brought something else into people's focus. So I'd say, I don't know if it would make a difference, as in, somebody that was originally planning on voting Biden to switch their vote to Trump, or somebody to switch their vote from Biden to Trump. But it definitely makes a huge enthusiasm difference when you realize what the stakes are at that point. And, it was brought up in that first debate between Trump and Biden as well, because it is a huge issue. I think overall, Amy Coney Barrett is popular. Overall, she's viewed positively. Now, there is a certain media campaign to promote her Catholicism and cast doubt in people's eyes whether, she would make a difference on Roe v. Wade. She has played it kind of close to the vest as far as how she would vote on something like that. But I think it also, you have to keep in mind that a challenge to Roe v. Wade has to make it all the way up to the Supreme Court before that even comes into play, and is yet to happen since. So I don't think the Roe v. Wade part of it's as big of an issue, but a lot of people on the right see it as a huge issue. Growing up in my family, and a lot of people that we knew were pro-life, and that was their single issue. If you had a Democrat that was pro-life, they would vote for that Democrat too. It was truly single issue.
Right.
And so now with Amy being assumptively, most people assume that she's pro-life. I'm not sure as far as her public statements, if she's confirmed that. I mean, it's possible. But she is a Catholic. She did go to Notre Dame. The Catholic Church has a policy of being pro-life. So that's why people, I think, mostly assume that she is. But it's even a bigger concern when you talk about the potential challenges to this election in 2020. In the year 2000, the election, Bush and Gore went down to the Supreme Court to decide if there was going to be another recount, basically deciding the election. So with all the mail-in voting, with all the new policies in place this election, there is a real fear among a lot of people that it will be a contested election and that it will go to the Supreme Court. But whether or not Amy Coney Barrett sat, it's 5-3 as it stands right now. So the difference between seating her and not seating her as far as the election goes is not even a consideration.